This is Sebastian from MSN. So, Paul, looking back for these 10 years of the franchise, how do you see yourself during this whole life doing?
Yeah, I tell people, I think, at the end of the day, when you look back at your career, you're an old man, you look back at your life, you want to know that it stood for something, that people actually cared, like, and was a part and has interest in something that you did. And, like, I have that peace of mind. And so, I feel really fortunate to have that. I mean, and it's been validated. What I've done has been validated in that it spanned 10 years, because if people didn't care, we would have never made a second one, let alone a fifth one. So it feels good. It stands for something. It's still credible. It's still viable. People still appreciate it.
Do you watch and look back on your performance and say, okay, I should have known, I should have done this, or
Always.
maybe in the next time I will do this, and you have the opportunity to do it?
Always. Well, there's some of that, but the other thing too that you fall into is you fall into the trap of, because you do become self-aware, right? And you do pay attention, and you remember certain moments and certain beats from certain takes that, in your opinion, was the better choice than the one that was maybe used. And that sometimes really gets you. You're like, why did they choose that one? A lot of the time when you're watching the movie too, you're thinking in terms of, I remember that day. I knew what was going on, the things that nobody else knows.
Yeah.
But I think that's human nature. There's a part of you that, you're excited for it. My typical process, I'm excited because I'm really nervous, because I know that I'm going to pick myself apart, and I know that it's going to be at least 2 weeks before I can stabilize and come down again. It's hard for me to like something that I've been in. It's hard. The second that I'm in something, I ruin it, right, for myself. I determine whether or not I like it based on the audience's reaction and the general just kind of reception, how well it does in, say, the box office, or how well it does, say, on DVD. The people don't lie.
Yeah.
Critics, whatever. Half the time they don't know what they're talking about, and they're full of crap, right? But when it comes to the people don't lie. So that's what I pay attention to.
Do you think there's more to expand in terms of your character for the franchise?
Excuse me?
There's more things to expand in terms of personality and evolve as a character.
Oh yeah, for sure. You're limited to only so many pages. First and foremost, what is this? It's an action franchise. It's an action movie. So typically in an action movie, how much time do you have for character development? About that? People are there because they want the fun, they want the excitement. If you spend 50 pages of people just dialogue and developing the characters, it's hard. So you're left now with the format of the action movie, and along that journey, you're trying to develop the characters and the interpersonal relationships. It's complicated. It's hard. And a lot of the time you see people, they go too much for story and too much for action, and it's out of balance. Well, fortunately enough for us, early on, we had some synergy. We had a balance. And I think that's a big part of the reason why it's had its successes. And, now as we continue on, we're older, we're bringing more personal experience, life wisdom to the role, and the relationships are that much more real, offset, because we've known each other for so long, and obviously we're going to bring that chemistry to the scene
it's
too.
It's like a high school reunion.
Yeah.
Buddies, and you just hang around.
It really is. But more than, say, like a 10-year reunion, it's more like a 20-year reunion, because everyone's got married and got kids now. That doesn't happen at the 10-year reunion typically.
Yeah.
But it feels like a 20-year reunion at this point. So it's been good. I'm really grateful for the cast that I have. That's all happenstance. You don't get to choose the cast. And so we were lucky, we were fortunate enough early on to where we all got along. And it makes it possible for us to continue on, because regardless of how successful it is, if you can't stand the people you're working with, you're looking for another job. That's just the way it is. But we all genuinely work together very well. We enjoy one another's company, and that's played to its success.
Do you see us as a action star, because Takers, for example? Or?
Yeah, well, that's that's what I do. I play sports. I'm an action type of guy. I mean, I skateboard a lot still. I surf a lot. I play a lot of beach volleyball, Brazilian jiu-jitsu for the last 8 years. I mean, from the time I was younger, it was always martial arts, and I grew up boxing, and so this genre, this type of movie, it plays to my lifestyle and the type of person I am. It's by no mistake that we made the first one. I was working with the same people on another movie, and they asked me what I wanted to do next. They knew that I liked to race cars. I told them that I wanted to play an undercover cop, and they created this story. And I love it. I mean, personally, a lot of people, I get the question, oh, you want to do something outside of the action genre? No, I really don't care to. This is my favorite. This is where I'm happiest. The physical challenge that I face on a day-to-day basis when making this type of movie is every bit as fulfilling as anything else in my life. And days that I don't have those physical challenges, I'm a little disappointed.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. So you practice jiu-jitsu?
Yeah.
I practice Korean